Hey guys, in this video, you're gonna see something pretty unique, something we don't do often, but I had a group of students here at my office and we really broke down like the art of cold calling, what you're looking for, and how to really make cold calling work for you so you can start getting deals today using that marketing channel. Now, also while you're here, we included a link down below that allows you to get free access to a free training, much like this video that you're gonna be part of, that you're gonna be watching right now. Click on that link, it'll take you to free training so you can learn a little bit more like overview of what's all part of my course that students are going through all the time. Now, let's get right to the show. 4 pillars of motivation: condition, price and equity, timeline, and driver. Let's talk about those, break them down one by one, and then Matt's gonna show you the actual system. So we use Mojo Dialer. He'll break down the system and we'll see how strategic, maybe one by one, we're gonna have to like walk by in a train or something like that, but we'll figure out how he can break this down for you. You can't throw it up on that, can you?
I could throw Mojo there.
You can?
Yeah.
Well, let's do that. Maybe that'd be best. Get that prep while I go through these. So guys,
My chair.
there's 2 things that make a deal. Always remember this, is motivation and equity. That's it. I think so many times we overcomplicate this and we think it has to be something more than this. It's not. Motivation and equity. And motivation is found on a distressed property or a distressed situation. Okay, so motivation, what are the 2 things?
Motivation and equity.
Motivation and equity for a deal, right? How do you find motivation? It's attached to either
Property or the seller.
a distressed property or a distressed like seller, right? A distressed situation. That you can go out and be a problem solver. What's fun about this is it has nothing to do with real estate. It really doesn't. You guys are like, you guys are stupid. I just saw all your numbers. Guys, that's the byproduct of just going out there and solving problems. It really, really, really is that simple. I know that sounds crazy dumb, but it's crazy true. I just go out there, my team goes out there and just solves problems. That's it. The byproduct is we get a home at 40, 50 cents on the dollar. One of them today, did anyone go out to the Taylorsville home? We just found out it got condemned.
Well, people are there.
So wait, that one on like Azure or whatever?
That's one.
was just
Yep.
sent out?
Azure Meadows.
Well, we're flipping a house in Taylorsville right now, so I just looked it up to see where it was. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. It got condemned,
Well,
pretty much.
we'll see what happens. I went there to go do a video today, and there's a big old sign posted by the city saying don't walk in or it's a misdemeanor. So I was like, all right. Didn't know about that one. Okay, so condition. What are some forms of motivation that is strictly attached to a condition? What does that look like?
Repair issues.
Repair issues. What are some of the repair issues?
Roof.
You did a fix and flip.
Yeah, roof, HVAC, that sort of stuff.
Yep. Anyone want to add to that?
Foundation, driveway.
Landscape, curb appeal,
Foundation,
foundation.
driveway.
And those ones are brutal. Know that if there's foundation problems, you got to get that at like 20 cents on the dollar, like we did our Farmington property. Did anyone see that one? That one had foundation. So we ended up taking it down ourselves, and we got we're 40 grand alone we were 50 grand alone just in foundation repair. But it was worth it. That
You
was,
got it for cheap enough that it made
that'll be a 6-figure deal.
Nice.
So that one's worth it.
At what point in the process, real quick, do you do that sort of stuff, right? Like the due diligence on it?
You can only do the best you can do, right? After we put it under contract, we found out this whole neighborhood has this problem. And it wasn't until we sent it out to our cash buyers, and one of them, Josh Christensen, you guys know him?
Yeah.
Round the wall, and Josh called me, he's like, hey dude, I hope you got this a lot lower than what you're sending out there. He's like, this whole neighborhood's sunk. And I'm like, no. And you call him up, like, hey, do you guys know about any foundation like problems? And the guy's like, oh yeah. He's like, that's why I'm willing to sell it at a discount. I'm like, and so it was a renegotiated contract. That one was a deal that had plenty of work that needed to be done.
But do you mainly let your cash buyers do all that due diligence then? As far as, like,
Sometimes
looking at
yes,
stuff?
sometimes yes, because you don't know what you
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, foundation, you couldn't see it. It wasn't in sight. It really wasn't. Basement didn't show any cracks. It's the weirdest thing because of how bad it is. There should have been like lines through the walls. There should have been seams broken. There should have been clear signs of this. There should have been brick, like mortar joints broken. And it wasn't as apparent as that.
Wasn't it like 3 feet on one side?
Correct.
Oh wow, that's significant.
Like
Sorry, I was a number, but yeah.
It's like crazy stuff.
You can roll a marble across the floor when you walked in. And you set it there and just roll
You
all
said
the
it
way
and just
across.
says, not slow either. It's just,
No, it's-
that's awkward. So, condition. You guys gotta understand that. Price and equity. This is a curveball. Price and equity. Price can be a sign of motivation, but it also can be a deceiver. Meaning, if someone calls you and says, I'm in Salt Lake and I'm willing to sell for 100 grand, anyone's going out there. You can't find anything for 100 grand in Salt Lake. By the way, there's no way. Here's a good one. From a bank, Matt opened his mouth to his friends and stuff. Was it a church member?
yeah, we're friends from church.
Friends from church, and you just let him know what he does. So everyone take from this. Let everyone know what you do. Don't be afraid of it. You do this full time. Whether you do it full time or not, you do it full time to the world. What was cooler to say? I am an engineer full time, and on the side I invest. I'd rather say, man, I invest full time, and every now and again I consult engineering, right? Be a full time investor. Let people know that. Matt did this. Guy from his church works for the bank, walks by a meeting, right?
No, he's a property manager.
Okay,
for the
share it.
company.
You're going to share this even better than I am.
Want me to share it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Because this is a huge deal. We got it from a bank for under 100 grand, right next to the DI on 35th. Or what is that?
45th?
45th?
53rd.
Is there some chromium
Is it 30?
remediation
45th,
required?
yeah, you're right.
Is it 45th?
45th.
Yeah.
So
Okay, go for it.
we were talking about the property. Well, he's like trying to help me find a home, and he's like, I found this one that's awful. I don't want to have you go there. Your son's not allowed on the property. And I was like, cool. What is it? My work might want it. He's like, you guys don't want this one. It's not. It's like an awful one. And it's like, he's like, there's people living in the house that are homeless and everything. I was like, sounds great.
Bunsen burners, needles.
He's like, yeah. He's like, don't get poked in the front lawn, kind of an attitude. And I was like, sounds great. Tell me more about it. And he's like,
And he's just like, what are you buying?
he's like, I don't think your work wants this one. And I was like, oh well.
And you're still an active member of the church?
We
Just kidding, just kidding.
we buy all sorts of them. And we bought land a couple days ago, and he's like, oh, well, maybe it's worth the land. And I was like, okay, tell me more about it. I was like, tell me all about the house. And he's like, I was like, so what are they looking to get out of it? He's like, probably somewhere around like 50K for it. And I was like, oh, yeah, like we'd be really interested in looking at that one for sure.
You have to like hold yourself back.
But the first part I started over text, and then it was a phone call, and then yeah, so I was like, yeah, let me talk over with my partners when I get to work on Monday, and so we went in and I went over to Silver and I was like, hey, what about this one? He's like, for how much? And I was like, yeah, that's
Guys, I'll buy a trailer in Salt Lake for 50 grand if it's posted to the ground.
And he's like, yeah. I was like, but it's awful. Like the city is mad at it because it's become a dump in Murray. Like everyone dumps their stuff there. Like they get calls from them and all these different stuff. And he's like, okay, yeah. Like let me go look at it. So
It was literally like, it was treated like the Prius on the other guys. You guys remember that?
Yeah, just trashed.
He went in there and he like sent me a video and there's like dolls laying on the floor and like all these different like weird like you can tell like a lot of squatters live there.
Yeah.
And it was like I was like, oh, that's pretty nasty. And so then he comes back and he's like, we're taking it. Like I don't think we're gonna send this one out. We're gonna take it and just keep one for ourselves.
We got it for 40 grand.
40 grand.
40 grand. So here's the best
What year was
part.
this?
Is it a rental?
Sorry, just
This-
what year was this?
This was this year.
This was 2020?
Yeah, yeah.
No, it was.
Oh, we held on to it. We got
It
it
was
at the
the
end of
end
last year. We finally did something with it.
Because I was camping.
That's right. So
in
fall of
September-
last year.
In September, when the conversation started, we
That's right.
Wow.
picked up the end part.
October, November by the time we got it.
Yeah.
So we get it, and we send it out, and the highest one was like 70,000. The offer that we got, and we bought it. So then I was like, this is crazy. So we ended up. My dad's a general contractor. I said, Dad, demolish this and just let us know what we owe. It ended up being $13,000 to demo the house off, take the trailer, and we ended up selling it for $160.
Just the dirt.
Just the dirt.
How big was the lot?
To half.
No, it wasn't a half. It wasn't quite a half, but it was more than a
Just-
third. It was probably between a quarter and a third.
That's a smoking deal.
It was a great deal, and it was right there in a great development where Murray's trying to really invest money, clean it up. Is in like a fix area where people are like Murray's like, we want this gone. Like, we'll even help you guys. Like, you do what you need to do. So it was awesome. They went through like the whole system in 2 seconds. Like, hey, can we get a permit to demo it? They're like,
Done.
like, let's go.
Get out.
So price and equity, when you hear that, it's like you don't have to worry about it. You're like, you hear that and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to go out there. But don't let that deceive you, because also everyone wants to say that they're highest best. Everyone here, if you had to sell your house, even though if you were at like something was going on in your life, you're still gonna say, yeah, I need 300,000. You're like, well, that's what the market wants for it. You're gonna want the best. You're gonna want the top dollar, right? Don't let that deceive you though, because everyone wants their best. There's gonna be very few that come out and say where the price is like, oh my gosh, this is a deal as is, let's go out there. Most of them are gonna want more than that. So this is like that curveball that I tell people. Yes, it can be a sign of motivation, but it can also be a deceiver. It's the one where people say a home's worth 300,000, like I need 280, not a penny less, and they say it just like that. And we go out there and get it for 190. It happens all the time. But we're booking the appointment based on these other ones. If the price isn't there, but these still are here, it's like, it's go time. So timeline. Anyone can think of a timeline on this one? What would be a timeline?
Trustee sale.
Okay, trustee sale, right?
Divorce.
Divorce. Yep, they have to go through and divide assets maybe. Or even a timeline where someone's like, hey, foreclosure, yeah, auction. And it's happening, I don't know why it happens, well, I can understand. But it's literally like the 11th hour and we get a phone call and we're like, when do you have to sell? And I'm like, Friday. I'm like, it's Tuesday. Like, what are your options right now? Or, we know it's not a realtor. I'm like, right. Like this has been kicked. This is a bucket that's been kicked for a long time. So we're able to close quick. So timeline. So if someone has to close quickly, or the timeline is less than like a traditional real estate transaction. Traditional real estate transaction. What is it?
30 days, 30, 45 days.
I'd say 45 is probably about the average right now.
45 days.
Yeah, 45 is about an average, from what I can see. Whether that's true or not.
Yeah.
But you can get it done as soon as 30, or if someone's a cash buyer. But not many retail buyers are like, there you go, I got cash, right? So you got your timeline. Your driver, this is not going golfing. Your driver is all of like the motivation behind it, the why. This is where we focus all of our energy and effort, is the driver. Are they behind on taxes? Are they going through divorce, like I heard? I can't remember who was it said that. Are they going through foreclosure? Did they just inherit mom and dad's home that just passed away and the siblings don't have the money to fix it up and it has to go through probate? So what's the driver behind it? We had one where we just picked it up. It's the Taylorsville Azure Meadows. That one was, what was the big driver behind that?
You know what list he's from?
Azure Meadow, the one we
You
just
know
did.
what list he's from?
Well, yeah, what list is it?
State felon.
Okay, so state felon list.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Wow. That's
So-
the first I have not heard that list.
There-
I've never heard of state felon.
There's some, we're always trying to find and get our hands on
That's
any
niche.
list.
That's pretty niche down right
And there's
there.
no one digging it.
Yeah,
like
no one's touching
no one's even heard of it probably.
I had never heard of it.
At the time in like 2016, no one had heard of water shut off. But a neighbor in my last neighborhood, he was the guy that actually shut off the water, and so he just called me and said, "Hey, this guy's water's getting shut off." I'm like, "Perfect. Let's go talk to him. See how we can help." So yes, there's the driver. So those are your 4 things when we're talking about what are we looking for when we're on the phone. You're either looking for condition that's bad, distressed condition. You're looking for price and equity, but don't let that deceive you because most are going to say high versus low. You got your timeline and you got your why. What's the why? The best way to do this is on what I don't know if it's on this one. Best way to do this is a question that it's our number 4 on the script that I run my students through, and it's sounds like a great property. Why are you considering selling it? Is that on there? Okay, so it could be on there. It looks like it is.
Yeah.
So sounds like a nice property. Why are you considering selling it? That's the why. Oh, we're moving up north. Cool. What's up north? Oh, my family's up north. Awesome. So are you living with your family or are you like living by them? What does that sound like? Oh, well, right now we're going to be living with my family. Okay, motivation level just rose up, right? Now you got to find out why are they moving with their family. If you can assume the best, they'll tell you the rest. So if I said, let's see, Greg, right?
Yeah.
If I said, Greg, how much money do you make? You'd be like, not your problem. Like, none of your business. But if I said, Greg, dude, every time I see you, you look sharp, you drive like a sick car, you must make like freaking $500,000 a year. And I come
Easier
with the
to get
best.
answer.
And now you're like, well, I actually make like $250,000. Right? You ask it one way, it offends them. You ask it another way, and they're like, shoot, I wish I did, but I make like $250,000. I still got to get some swagger. I make $250,000 though, right? Same thing with your sellers. Same exact play. If you say, why are you moving in with mom and dad? It's like asking someone how much money they make. But if you said, oh, you're probably moving in with mom and dad because up north there's a lot of building going on. You're probably having a nice new home being built. I wish that was the case. We're actually moving in because my husband lost his job. Book the appointment. So you got to assume the best, let them tell you the rest. Okay? So that's enough for that. All right, guys, hopefully you got a taste of what it's like to do cold calling and to start to understand if that is a channel that you want to start implementing in your business. Now, guys, if you like this video, I want you to hit that like button. And also, if you know of people that this would add value to their wholesaling business, hit that share button, share it with them. Get out there, add value to their business as well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell so it alerts you when we put fresh new content, and I'll see each one of you on the next video.